Hello, good morning. Well, good lunchtime now, isn't it? Yeah, we had to start a little bit late today, apologies for that. But we are here, after a slight technical blip. We're here. Welcome one and all to another exciting probably not exciting, episode of Fox's Morning Nonsense. Yes, let me just adjust my microphone, lots of banging noises. Yes, we're going to be carrying on with our Fanhome DeLorean Time Machine from Back to the Future. As you can see, we've come quite a long way so far, yes. I just need to adjust my camera settings, one moment. No, I don't need to open a Chrome window, thank you. 1 second, folks, let me just, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That was what I wanted to do. There it is, a bit better. A bit overexposed there. Yes, welcome. Starting a little late today, as I say. Now, before we get going, let me get all the normal nonsense out of the way first of all. If you want to help support this channel, you can do. You can become a patron or a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/gurufoxx. I nearly said model making guru then. Patreon.com/gurufoxx, GURUFOXX, and become a patron and support me that way. Or you can press the join button under any of my content and become a channel member. And that way you can keep the channel alive and keep it going, keep me making content. Because I do this for a living and I depend on you guys to help me put food on the table. So big thank you to you if you're already a patron or a member. Don't forget, of course, if you can't do any of that, don't panic. I still love you. Just make sure to watch any adverts that pop up all the way through, because that also massively helps me out. If you've got an ad blocker, turn it off, because that really helps me out. Then I get me a little bit of scratch from YouTube, and it massively helps. And it's only an advert, it's only a few seconds. But yes, we're going to be carrying on. In chat so far, we have McLeish is in. McLeish. Who says spoonularity and preparing Mr. Fusion, checking the flux capacitor, 88.8 miles an hour. Go For It Painting is in. Hello to you, Go For It Painting. Welcome. Thank you for coming along. And Gemma is in. Gemma Williams. Big hugs to you, Gem. I'm taking it. Chris is at work today, so Gemma's in. But she says she's just listening as she's getting the weeding done as the weather is fine. And I have to say, I was up earlier, and about 11 o'clock when I started getting ready for this show, it was cold. It was cloudy. It was freezing cold. I even had to turn the heating on. I mean, get that. It's heating. I know. Turned the heating on, sat down, started doing some fettling to get ready, and now it's like 1,000 degrees and hot and sunny. Go figure. September, eh? All the garden spiders are out because it's September. There's webs everywhere. I tell you what. If you get garden spiders, you know, the little sort of stripy ones with the little cross on the back, the little garden spiders, they're dead nice. Go and check out some of the webs. There's some incredible engineering going on in my back garden. I'll tell you about it later, but yes. McLeish says Java, because I say we do need coffee. Who else? LWN is in. Bill is in. Hang on. I need coffee already. Look. Coffee. And if you're watching, Chris, yes, I still use your Hutton Orbital mug. It's one of my treasured mugs. It needs a wash. Hutton Orbital. 0.22 light years. Yes. If you've played Elite Dangerous, you know what that means. I need to wipe my nose because I've got a sniffly nose again today. I do apologise. Bright light, says McLeish. There are 4 lights. gurufoxx, says McLeish. I was going to say, is that a Fallout 3 reference then? But never mind. Or is that a Fallout 4 reference? Fallout 3. 3? Yes, Foxx is in 3. Anyway, shut up, Fox. Yes, today we're going to be carrying on with this. We've got... I have an update from yesterday. We put the doors on yesterday. And if you remember, we had the doors and we put the little pistons in and it was like, oh dear, they don't stay in place. Well, do you also remember how we had 2 strange bits of plastic that came in the packs and we hadn't got a clue what they were for? They were like, they weren't mentioned, they weren't pictured, there was no reference to them at all anywhere. I did some Googling and it wasn't obvious because it's like I only found a few people that posted about these. This has a very specific purpose. It's designed to be jammed in there somehow, when I can get it to go in. It's to be designed to be jammed in there so it holds the door open. I mean, talk about a bit of a Heath Robinson. It just jams under the door. Now it's black, so it hides away in the actual frame of the vehicle, but that's what that's for. Because apparently these doors are just too heavy to be supported. Now, if that was a proper piston, you can't see it there, can you? If that was a proper hydraulic piston there, that wouldn't be a problem because it would actually support it, but because it's not, it's just a little cheap plastic thing, a metal thing, it doesn't. So if you get this, that's what these are for. They go in like that under that little slot of the door there. They just slot in. You can't see that either, can you? One job, Fox. They just slot in under there like that, and they hold it in place. And it's not exactly the most brilliant solution, but it's simple. It's slightly invisible. Somebody might not necessarily notice that if they looked at it. They wouldn't realise that was there, but it gets the job done. So yeah, that's what they are for. So don't throw those away. I'll put them over there. So I've got to put them somewhere safe now, and I don't know where. I'll put them there for now. So yes, but we're not going to be carrying on with this just yet. We've got both doors done. Next up, we've got both fenders done. So next up, we've got the back panels here, and it's actually the last pack before we run out. So, but before we do that, we've got something else to do. So I'm going to put this to one side. Let me just move that. Yep. Put this to one side because all the banging. Because today we're going to start with the frunk. Yes, because this morning my bonnet, trunk and carpets accessories from Mike Lane turned up. Yes, I got a very nice thank you card from him. I love seeing your builds come together, especially when you enjoy using my mods. So whether it's on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, please share your purchase and tag me using @MikeLaneMods so I don't miss it. And I also got a very nice bag of Haribo Golden Bear, Goldbaren. So I'll eat those shortly. Gold bears, can't go wrong with gold bears. So we're going to do this first. I'm just going to sort something out. 1 second, folks. Blow my nose. Right. We're going to do that first. Oh, do you know? 1 moment. I've got all kinds of problems today. All kinds of things going on here. Right. Now you do need a spare wheel for this, and we haven't had the spare wheel yet, but I do actually have a spare wheel. Perfect. Because I think I had to get a replacement set of wheels. I can't remember why. I think it's because I needed a spare. I lost one of the little center hubs. I needed a spare one, so I got a spare issue with this wheel in it. So I've got a spare wheel. There we go. Just adjust it a little bit. Right. Let's get this open. I'm going to move the camera in because we don't need to be quite so far away for a lot of this. We're going to be building the back quarter parts today, so we can actually get quite close in. So I should just adjust my focusing. Let me get. I really need a focus card. I haven't got anything to test focus on really. Let's put that there. Let's test focus. Roger, focusing now, sir. In focus, we are near enough. Let me know if that's not in focus. It should be in focus, yes. Right, so let's get this done. Anyway, how is everybody? Go For It Painting says, greetings from Hungary. Greetings. I thought you were in Australia for some reason. I don't quite know why. I get confused. I get very easily confused. I've got a few people that watch from Australia. Yeah. For application guidance, tips and photos, scan here. Well, it's a bit late for that now. I'm just going to wing it and see if I can figure it out in my enormous man brain. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. So what do we get in this set? There's loads and loads of mods available on the Mike Lane website. It's got all kinds of stuff, all different partworks. Ooh, ooh, feel that. Ooh, nice. So we've got 2 carpety bits, one for the bonnet and one for the frunk. Now I'm not going to put the bonnet one on because that requires taking the bonnet off, and I'll have to do that later because that can be a bit of a fiddly ass job. So I'll sort that bit out later for the bonnet. Chris is in. Chris at Gross Models. Hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome. Sure, they make good webs, but can they build a DeLorean? I think not, says Bill. Well, that's true. Admit it, Fox, you've missed my shenanigans, says McLeish. I have, mate. You've been absent. You've been notable by your absence, and it's rubbish. So we get carpet for the frunk, which goes in there like that, you see. It goes like that. Just like a real car, but petite. Just like the real... I can't get it out now. Just like the real thing, but petite. Who remembers those adverts? A bit of foam. Insert. And the pièce de résistance, which I can't get out of the bag. We get a staple. No, we don't. Well, we do get a staple, but we get die-cast white metal tools to go into the foam insert. So we've got our first thing. We've got to prove that we are actually a clever 5-year-old. We've got to match up the tools with the shapes. It's all about shapes. I think these are these metal. I think they're all plastic. I'm not sure. that actually ever so slightly hinges. Hinge. Right. So we have. First of all, we have a hammer. Very nice. Next up, we have a screwdriver with what looks like a Victorian lamp on it, which is very nice. All this shiny silver is really killing my exposure on white balance. Monkey wrench or adjustable wrench. We have... That's an adjustable wrench. Wait. I never know these tool names. That's an adjustable wrench. Is that a monkey wrench? The big... I don't know. So we need to not push the foam out, Fox. We've got that big doddy there. These are all little foam inserts cut in. We've got the... Oh, they do close. Look. Oh, they're proper pivot. Look at that. Actual working pliers. I mean, you wouldn't be able to use them as pliers, obviously, but an hammer, a big ball peen thing. So there we go. We've got our tools laid out. Very nice. I assume they match the DeLorean official tools. I assume that is the thing that happened with the DeLoreans. Cool. And we have this carpet. Now, I don't know how you apply this carpet. I should have really read the instructions. It is self-adhesive, or is it? This bit might not be. I don't think this bit is, because it's got solid plastic on the back. I think this one is simply just, because if you look at this one's got a peel away strip on the back for the bonnet. That is adhesive. So this one just sits nicely in there. It looks so much better. Oh, the thing is, right, this is making me now want to go and get all the other kit, all the other sets for the rest of the car, because there's all the carpet bits and door sills and carpet for the... I'd have to take it all apart again, so that would be rubbish. So that will sit in there like that. Andy McLeish has been a member for 29 months. You've been a member for a lot longer than that. You've always been a member in my book. You're the biggest member I know. I'm okay, Fox. Nice to see you back at the bench. Thank you, McLeish. James Larimore is in. Hey all, it's been quite a while since I've been able to catch anything live. Hey James, yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? How you doing, buddy? Pipe wrench, that's the one. Bill says pipe wrench. Go for it, says hi gurufoxx. Daniel Atkinson, I imagine it's removable for the spare wheel, says Daniel Atkinson. Hey Dan, not seen you for a long time. Well, the spare wheel sits on top like that, you see. So I think it's just because it's not actually a flat surface you can stick it to. There's all sticky up bits. It doesn't need to be adhesive anyway, because it's not on the bonnet. It needs to be adhesive because it will fall out all the time. On this one, it does not need to be. Now, the entire reason I got this, apart from the fact it looks awesome, is this little thing here, because that's the strap that holds the spare wheel in place, and that is supposed to clip onto a little peg in the bottom and go around the wheel like that. But somehow you're supposed to take this material, which you can't see, this thread, which is quite nice, this kind of like seatbelt material, which frays the moment you look at it and get it through those tiny holes. No, that's not happening. It's just not happening. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to turn my fans on, because I forgot to turn them on, my computer fans. We're going to do it in such a way that this sits on top of the wheel like that, which is what it's supposed to do. But we hide that under there. I've got the pre-roll music in my head. We hide that under there somehow. We hide it under there more effectively than I am. I might need to take that down very quickly or something. In fact, I'll tell you what I can do. Let's get some tape. I'm sure I can hear mains hum again, you know, somewhere. Don't know. I only hear it when I'm streaming. Very weird. I'm going to take this. We're going to take that down there, because you're never going to see this. We're going to take that and put that there. Do let me know if there's like a bassy mains hum going on that you can hear. Like you've got like a microphone not plugged in properly or something, because I can hear that and it's weird. I can go there. I say that normally, this bit here would normally clip onto the bass under that, well, where's the carpet now, but it doesn't, so what can you do? So that will sit there. I'll just get my OCD and line it up properly. We'll tape it again. I'll do a proper better job of this later, but this is just to get it in for now. And that will sit there. Now, of course, you normally have it's normally like a little buckle strap here or whatever that goes over that. So what I'll probably do to fill that hole in, I'll get some plastic card and just make up some bits and stick them on that look a bit more like some sort of latch or buckle, and then I'll paint them black so they hide away, and then it'll just look, for all intents and purposes, at a quick look when you open the hood, it'll look like a, say, a seatbelt buckle or something like that that you can do to get the wheel out. But that's why I got this foam piece, because this will hold that in place and stop it flippy flopping about, you see. It'll hold the wheel in place and it looks really cool. So there we go, that is the frunk, the front trunk, all done. One sec. Yeah, I definitely can hear her. It's quite annoying. I can't quite tell where it's coming from there. Anyway, stop obsessing about it. Right, so that is the front trunk. So what I'll do very quickly, I'm going to take those out because, of course, we're going to be manhandling the bodywork anyway. So I can't have them in because they'll fall out every 5 seconds. So what I need to do is put all that to one side, safely somewhere, and that'll be ready for the final display then. So I'll put that in my little box of storage for the DeLorean. I wanted to show it to you. We can now put this back in to the bodywork. So I'll bring the body back up. In fact, no, we can't actually, because I'll need to take the bonnet out. Yes, so I'll sort that later. I'll sort the bonnet out later, and I'll put all that back in the trunk, the luggage trunk. So I'll put that away again. I'm not planned today. Can you tell I've not planned it very well? Right, so Mike Lane, very nice bit of kit there. I can't remember what the web address is now. MikeLaneMods.com. So go and check him out. He's got stuff for a whole bunch of different partworks. I need some coffee. He's got all sorts of add-ons for the DeLorean, but loads of other stuff as well, Ecto 1 things and all the other, loads of other vehicle partworks. Chris at Grace Models is saying hello to everyone. I need to scroll down because it's scrolled back up again. Foam in first, spare wheel next to the carpet. I know, no. The thing is, I mean, that set was 30 quid, so they're not cheap. So I'm not going to be spending that much money on it. So I just got that to cover up the strap because it looked a bit rubbish the other way around. Daniel Atkinson says, I'll go back to being quiet. Nonsense. You're not supposed to be quiet. You have to be talking. I've been working at McDonald's, James Lorimer, I've been working at McDonald's and making both wall-mounted and tabletop dioramas and also playing Ark Survival Evolved, waiting for the chance to buy Ark Ascended. How's everyone else doing? I tried Ark Survival Evolved, didn't take to it at all. It was one of those games where you say, you go in, it's like, here's a very complicated menu, we're not going to explain anything. Yeah, I don't last long in games like that. Speaking of cars, says McLeish, I had to get a new one. My other one exploded. You not exploded another car. So come on, what are you driving? How did you explode a car? And what are you driving now? Ours didn't, but we have to get a new one as well. Yeah. I'm going to be very, very sad the day I have to get rid of the Foxmobile. Because how can I go back to having a normal, boring, single colour car when I've got a car, I've got a rat rod with a shark mouth on it. I can't go back to normal cars. I'm going to be gutted if I hit anything in it and have to get a panel replaced. I'll never get that paint job replaced. Right, it's time to open a new box. I didn't realise, but this is the last box now. This is issues 77 to 81. And then we're up to date then. So if we get enough of this done today, we'll be cracking on with the GT40 in a bit. Probably not. We're only going to go for a couple of hours today because we started late. So if I remember rightly, this is all the rear quarters. And we're just building them. And this won't take long at all, I think. Plunk. Mouse trap. Yeah. I'll just stay there. I'm having issues with my box. Patron. Right, there we go. Oh. Everything's a critic today. You stay there. Stop giving me sats. No sats. Right. That'll learn you. I fold my box up on the floor so I can put all the bits in these. Even the box is giving me sats. I can't win today. Right, so issue 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. Cool. So we should put the front trunk over there. Because I need to move out of the way. So we've got what have we got? 79. That is issue number. Oh, I guess we've got another one from Russia. Let's find out. What are these? 80, 78, 79, 81, 80. So it is the one that we can't see. Cool. Let me guess. I'm going to guess this is Russian. We had one yesterday that was Russian. And like I said, they're probably just getting spare packs left over from other countries because they're not manufacturing more. This is out of print now. Yeah, another Russian one. Well, I'm guessing they can't sell these in Russia now, so yeah. Or they're guessing I would hope they've chosen not to sell these in Russia now. One would assume that. One would prefer to assume that. That's that. Oh, it's a butt cheek. Yeah, let's move these out of the way. Butt cheeks confirmed. Let's have a look. Please tell me you still have the Sharkcast. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's still going. I've got a bucket in for its MOT. It had a load of work done last year. It had a new steering, dampers. I had a new clutch put in. Clutch or gearbox, one of the two. I don't know. A gearbox, I think. Put in. All that good stuff. So it's still around. The Sharkcaster still exists. So I'm going to put on the gloves because the bodywork on this is a fingerprint magnet. And unfortunately I ran out of blue gloves, so I'm afraid it's orange gloves. Yeah. See, I got these gloves because I thought it'd be really funny if, like, when I'm filming, it's a bit like, you know, Foxx there. It was a bit like he's doing it because it's the orange hands. And when I found you can get orange gloves, I'm like, oh, that'd be hilarious. It was a stupid idea because they're the wrong colour anyway. And they're a little tiny bit too small. But they actually, I've got some black gloves. But the problem with black gloves is when you get on a webcam, not when you film, but on a webcam, getting your balance, your white balance, your exposure and your contrast and your brightness all set is a nightmare on a webcam. I only found some extra settings today, which meant I've been able to tweak it a little bit and it hopefully looks a bit better for you today. But yeah, putting on black gloves, it just helps make everything darker. And we've got a big black frame on the DeLorean, so yes. Now, this is going to be one of those minimal issues because I think we literally have to attach one part. Yeah, I like when they do this. Okay, so we have spadonge, big piece of metal. Ow. We have spadonge, plastic venting, and spadonge, 3 AP screws. I've got to find somewhere to put these safe. I don't know yet. I'll figure something out. Mum, I'll put them under the spare wheel for now. Not ideal, but it'll work. Right. So what we're going to be doing today is attaching that to that, and that's it. Not today, I mean in this specific. Shut up, Fox. Right. Put my lenses on so I can see. AP screws made to make your face bigger. Or something, I don't know. I can still hear that mains hum sound. It's doing my bean in. I don't hear it when I'm not streaming. It's probably just my fans in my PC, I don't know, but I don't hear that when I'm not streaming. Right, so we just simply need to attach that to there. I do like on things, whatever it is, when you've got like something with a corner like that, and then there's a vent in there. It's just, I like that kind of thing. I think a reason I like the DeLorean, or one of the reasons, is that when I was a kid, you know, when I was not a kid, but a teenager, and I was drawing and things like that, I used to draw lots of like sci-fi vehicle type things. Not spaceships necessarily. I did lots of spaceships, but not just spaceships. But I did things like little sort of, you know, in atmosphere vehicles and stuff. Look, I can't pick that up. Flying vehicles and things. And I always used to like making them sort of. Why have I got AP screws when they're going into metal? Through metal, okay. I always used to make them kind of angular because it was the 80s and everything was angular. And I used to do things like having little corners with vents in. It's great. And somewhere in this house there is an old VHS tape with. I used to have an Amiga 500 with the 512 meg expansion. A megabyte, yes. 512 K. It was a meg basically. It was upgraded to a megabyte. And I had deluxe paint and photon paint even. And I did lots of little pictures and artworks and stuff. I did I can't remember if it was photon paint or deluxe paint. One of them had like a colour cycling option, so you could set a range of colours and it would cycle between them. So you'd make something say blue and then set the second colour, and when you press the button it would cycle between them and you get this kind of like effect. And I did things like, I used that in quite a few things, but I did things like I did this like Phoenix made of reflective chrome, because again, this was the 80s, it was all about airbrushing chrome. Phoenix made of like chrome plated, and then it was surrounded by fire, and you could use this colour cycling thing to do like a brush effect to create, and it was actually very, very good. You could get a very, very good fire effect, just going from like a brown to a bright yellow. And then I did all the painted. This is hand painted all the reflections in the chrome, like as if I was a ray tracing or something. But and all with the mouse, all with the Amiga mouse. But I also did this little in atmosphere flying ship, and it had these kind of like corners with the air vents and stuff. One day I'll find that and I basically recorded them all on VHS, because you didn't have, you know, it wasn't like you had floppy disks to store things. There was no way to show people the artwork without turning the Amiga on and hooking it to the TV. So I recorded them onto VHS, so you could play the tape and have a gallery of all my artworks. It's probably still around somewhere. Right, that's that issue done. Yeah, that was issue 77. I think we should sit down and have a rest now. After that. Let's have a look. Anything we can talk about on here? No. Right, so let's look at that. Sometimes you do get these minimal effort sort of edition issues. Next. Ooh, I didn't put that screw in the thing. That was a big long story that really had no real benefit to telling you that story, wasn't it? About the Amiga. But hey. Talking of stupid ideas, Fox, what about those white fluffy gloves? Hey, Panzer. Yes. I said before on the show the other day, I literally got them because it was my first part work after that had shiny things, the Dodge, because I had the Falcon before that and it didn't need gloves. And I'm like, I'm not handling these like body panels because they're shiny black. And I watched somebody else building it and they had white cotton gloves. I'm like, I'll get some of them. And it was like, they were rubbish because they had big dodgy ends that you can't grip stuff, and they were too slippy. And I thought to myself, I could have just worn normal modelling gloves, which would have been a lot more sensible. I don't know why I didn't think that, but because I see somebody else do it. And I tried them once and they were garbage, so I never used them again. Threw them away. Right. This is issue 78, so let's get the bits. 78. 78. All ickle bits. So yes, they were thrown away, those gloves. I can't remember who the YouTuber was now, but if I remember and find out, I shall name and shame them, just because they have eternally condemned me to having that mockery. So I shall name and shame them if I can find them. It was a long time ago. I'd never done a shiny partwork before. Yeah. And trust me, if you are making that dodge, yeah, you want to wear gloves. You want to wear gloves on this. They get fingerprints on this. I don't even know how I'm going to get them off. Right, so we have LP. Need to find out which screws we don't have. Anyway, never mind that. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. Hope you're all fine and dandy. Let's get a little tray for these. That's there. Yeah, I hope you're all well. It seems like it's going to be a beautiful day today. Gemma's outside doing the weeding, as she said. After doing this show, I'm not sure what I'm doing. It's a tiny bit of plastic there. Small doohickey. Oops. Which I can't get out, so I'll just cut with the knife. Now, if you didn't see the show yesterday, I'll give another update on this partwork specifically. Fester and Chris and I have been, we were talking about stuff, and we've kind of realised that specifically with Fanhome, but we think with every partwork company now, they no longer just keep these in production indefinitely. They seem to announce them, see how many subscribers they've got, if it's worth it, do the production run for that many subscribers, and then call it quits. So this partwork is already out of print. At the moment, Fanhome have the Batmobile, one of the Transformers, I think, the Zord, and a couple of others in production. So this is actually out of print. However, in the US, it's just about to launch, and it has been available in the US before, so it'll probably come back in the UK again at some point. They'll probably do another run of it. Probably do it every couple of years or something like that. But at the minute in the UK, it's out of print. So there is a link in my description below the video, but it's no use to you. If you're in the US, though, I've also got a link to that in the US. DMs there. LP, we got LP. So there is a link down there. If you're in the US, you can order this partwork yourself if you're interested in it. IP, we got IP. Okay, so I need to keep them in the bags. Yeah, it does seem to be the way forward now. You get the subscriptions, make that many, probably with a small number extra spare, and then put it out of print. So things like the big Transformer, the big what's his name? Optimus Prime, that's already out of print. The Ecto 1 is out of print. The Eleanor is out of print in Fanhome. Yes. The Millennium Falcon's already out of print as well. But of course that was a relaunch. Some of these are relaunches from D'Agostini, so I'm sure they'll bring them back at some point. They'll give them another run. They'll let this run complete, give it a little while, and then do another run with it for another audience, because they're not going to, I mean, these are all old Legal Moss ones, so they've not actually invested in any design, but they're not going to go to all that effort, do it once and then never do it again. They've got all the tools and dyes and moulds and stuff, so the golden rule is with partworks, if you see one and it tickles your fancy, snag it while you can, subscribe to it instantly, because it might not be there for long. Right, so 78G, which is this little fellow. How is it? How are we looking? Are we on screen? Yeah. This needs to attach here. 78G and 2 AP screws. Where's my screwdriver? I just put my screwdriver down, didn't I? So there is a link if you're in the US. You can pre-order this. It's out this month, but I think it starts this month basically. So if you fancy this, and I will say, I'm enjoying the partwork. I've not had any real major issues with it. I've had little niggles here and there, but nothing major. Nothing major at all. So yeah, it's more fun. It's great fun. More than worth it, I'd say. People complain about the price of partworks, but you know, this is how much they cost. They're not a necessity, they are an absolute luxury. And for what you're actually getting, and the production costs of these kind of things, plus all the magazines, don't forget, they've got to, you know, make all the magazines and everything else. It's what you're going to get. It's about right. Push trim 78H into place. Wait, which is that? Is that the red one? 78H is that one. There we go. Is it? I just put the wrong one in there. 78G. Oh no, 78H. There we go. And we want 2 more AP screws. Do. Yeah, if you look at some of those, like those cars that I can't remember who makes them, like the MFH kits, the metal, white metal and resin kits, they're like 500-600 quid, and that screw's not doing anything. And you know, that's just the kit, and they're more detailed than these partworks. But when you get a partwork, of course, you get in the kit plus all the magazines and everything else. So why is that not? That's not the right hole, you dingus. So you know, 700-800 quid to £1,000 or so, it's about the right price for what you're getting. And really, when it comes to this scale of car, or whatever partwork you've got, when it comes to 1/8 scale cars, for this level of detail that they have, yeah, they're quite simple in a lot of ways, but for this level of detail and polish, you're only looking at things that are several £1,000s, replicas, but a lot more detailed, of course, but still several £1,000s. Excuse me, tickly cough time. Push red lens. Red lens. You don't have to put on the red light. Anyway, yes, I hope you're all well today. I am actually very warm now. It's done a bait and switch. I thought it was going to be super cold today, and it's totally not. It's going to be super warm. I've got all the lights on. Got my window open. Yeah, curse you, unpredictable weather system. Oh, hello. Oops. Shaking. A little bit of the wobbles today. It's a bit loose. There we go. And the 781 is a little tiny dodder that was on the end. That came a little. I appreciate the fact they put it in a little plastic bag. That was quite thoughtful. Because, you know, I'm Foxx. I tend to drop things and lose things. It is the way forward for me. Hopefully you're on camera. Oh, I've got no spare finger. That hum is still there. It almost sounds like somebody outside has got like a pressure washer on, but just idling. But when I go over to lean over to my PC, I can't hear it. It could just be the acoustics in this room. They are quite boxy sometimes. Things tend to get boxed and amplified. Right. Bracket 78F. Use the number on the part to identify it's marked RL5. Now these are the flux brackets, aren't they, for the system that goes around the car. RL4. RL5, there we go. Now I said this build was going quite well. And Chris says to me, yeah, you haven't done that flux stuff yet. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. That's where you put all the flux wiring and stuff around the outside. It's like, oh, don't tell me things like that. Don't make me nervous. AP. Don't make me worry about having an X-Wing wing installation all over again. We don't want to think about things like that. No. She does not enjoy being stressed on camera. It is not very flattering. Right, that's there. Try and thread this in. I've got to line up a hole in a small black piece that's hard to see because it's black. I can't get it wrong because I like the plastic part. Right, that's on. That's that one. Why do I get that? I've not seen the parts yet, but I get the impression the flux wiring is going to be lots of photo etch. I just get this impression there's going to be lots of photo etch that I need to fart about with. I'm gonna be scared, aren't I? Right, RL4. That's 4 there. How handy. That goes there. And it's the peg is on the bottom. Peg is on the front there, so that's that one. Peggies? Damn Peggies! Ain't taking my land. We'll be playing more Far Cry 5 on Friday's Day. Possibly in 1440p this time rather than upscale from 1080p, which would be good. I need to get the screw ready first, don't I? There we go. Damn Peggies. Right, which way was this again? Front end is the tab. Right. They've got a little peg and a hole, you see. So that's how these attach. Line up the hole. Put the screw into the hole. There you go. Das ist richtig. That's that one. Ooh. Plus all the flux stuff is of course electrical as well because it has to glow. So yes, I can imagine it's going to be a challenge. RL3 is the next one. I'm in the right order today. The peg is on the bottom. I just prefer a bottom peg. Wait. Something was said. I'll have a quick look at chat in a second, folks. Don't forget, if you are watching this and you're not in the live chat, you're watching it embedded in Facebook or Twitter, not that I actually embedded it anywhere, please do come and join the live chat. Click the YouTube icon at the bottom of the YouTube of the player, just below Foxx there somewhere, just below Foxx underneath him somewhere, and you can carry on watching on YouTube and join the live chat, and that will be lovely. And then it's RL2. Again, I'm getting the right ones every time. I'm on fire, man. Je suis on fire. What's I talking about? I don't know. Gone already. I wasn't listening to myself. That's lined up. It's very hard to actually see the whole. Patron, who were. That's them in. And. Okay, so now we have this bit. Und also this bit here, marked R1. Yes. This needs to go in there. Get the screw ready. Learn your lesson, folks. I've got an itchy nose, which doesn't help. Oh, it was an LP screw. I haven't been paying attention to the screws. Yes, luckily they were all AP screwed. I wasn't actually in any way paying attention to the screws I was using there. Well done, Foxx. You had one job. LP screw. Get out. Get out. Get to the chopper. Right. There we go. So that. Now this is quite hard and tricky to hold in place because nothing is fixed to anything, and I've got to somehow get the screw, hold it all in place, line up the hole, and get the screw in it. Yeah, you're challenging me now, mate. You're challenging me. Because as soon as I move my finger to uncover the hole to get the screw in, everything screw comes off the screwdriver. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it, he said in a family-friendly manner. Meh. 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 This is going to be, tell you what, let's do it a cunning way. Let's try something. Spond. Which way does this go? That way. No, that way. Spond. How? Make sure you get the right way around. That way. That goes in there. Okay, so it's that way around. Right. So I had it right. Blue tack. Nonsense. Screw. Hole. Screw. There. Huge success. Huge success. That was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. Doesn't seem to be straight, but I'm assuming that's correct because it's lined up. I'm making a note here. I'll leave that out because I know I'm going to need that again. Then this needs to go here, which is a very satisfying place for it to be. Let's look at that. Oh. I need 2 AP screws. 2 AP screws and I've got 1. Luckily, I have like 5,000 spare ones. I've got billions of them. Yes, I shall have a look in the chat in a moment. I get the feeling I've used an AP screw where I shouldn't have done. Have I used an AP screw where I shouldn't have done? Oh yes, it should have been an IP screw in that bit. Well, no matter, it seems to have worked. It's on, it's fine. It fell off. Yeah, I need to use IP screws in there. It didn't do any harm. I'm not going to risk it for a biscuit and change anything now. 2 AP screws on the back of this. AP screws. So we get coffee in a second. Yeah, what are you all up to today? So I don't know what I'm doing later. I was going to maybe go to get some Xbox time, but as it's a bit warm, I probably won't. Interestingly, you can see what the metal actually looks like here on the unpainted inside, whereas that, of course, is matted because they brush painted that silver over it. I don't know how they've done it in such a way that the brush marks are like random, they're indifferent. So unless somebody's literally sat there and gone like that with a brush, I don't know how you'd automate that in such a way that you get a nice even coverage, even around the edges, and you don't get like bits where there aren't brush marks. It's quite impressive, and it's quite a, it sounds really weird, but it's quite a clever way of doing it. It's like, how do we simulate brushed steel? Well, we just get some silver paint and brush it loosely over the top with probably thick strand brushes so that it keeps the brush marks. But how you automate that process, that's a whole different kettle of fish. So although it's not like the absolute best thing in the world, it's still quite impressive, and it has the right look when you see it on a shelf. It looks like brushed steel, so I shall hear no more about it. No, we have to install it. But we're not going to install it just yet because I don't want to bring the bodywork over. So what we'll do, we'll put that to one side. So we've finished that. We shall, I think we're going to have to make the other side now. Let's put these screws away. We've got a whole mess of, what? A minute. Have I done it again? Have I used all the wrong screws? We've got like 3,000 DM screws that we didn't actually use. Oh, that's because that's when they go into, oh, I got you. This is for when the screws into the bodywork. So we'll put them to one side, DMs. LP and IP we need to keep in the bag. AP we've used up. So we'll put that magazine to one side. To one side we do. And issue 79, which is exactly the same. 78, 79. I mean 79 and 80. May have lost connection briefly there. Oh, looks like OBS lost connection for a second. I take it I'm still live. Do let me know that I'm still live, if you wouldn't mind, folks, please. Do let me know that I've not fallen out everywhere. What was I going to do? Yeah, look at chat. Hang on, where's me? Stop with that. Stop. Right, where are we? Let's have a look at chat. Stop popping that window up. Let's have a look. I have the DeLorean in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. It's my favourite car, and I got my kids to watch the Back to the Future series recently, says James. Cool. Lol, I might... if you're lucky, Fox might sell you here's the white gloves. He's the second in command of the whole story and just read me a couple of good ones and gave it to me for no reason. What are we talking about? Hang on. Oh, his manager bought a book of dad jokes. There's absolutely no benefit to using the floofy cotton gloves on a partwork because you can't grip and they've got chunky ends, so you can't pick up little tiny screws. Just use normal nitrile gloves, you'll be fine. Damn, Fox, you've disappointed poor James. More importantly, you did me out of my 10% commission. He says Panther. Yeah. Daft cat. Shush, Anya, I'm busy organising escape routes for my fellow felines, says Panzer. Not a cat astrophy then, says Dandy McLeish. I finally watched the original House on Haunted Hill and actually enjoyed it. Normally I'm not a spooky movie person. Never watched it. I don't do horror films. Far Cry 5, Sweet Home Alabama, except it's in Montana. But yes, almost correct. Still need to play Far Cry. I just don't have the money at the moment. Do you want multiple choice? There are many of them. There's usually an offer on somewhere. If you're on console, there's usually an offer on either the Xbox or PlayStation Store for like 2 of them for like a cheap price. Or sometimes I had Far Cry 4 that I played years ago, and then I bought Far Cry 5 full price on Xbox. And I thought, oh, I forgot how much I loved Far Cry, so I bought Far Cry 3, and then I got I got Far Cry 3, which I'd already played in the past, and then I got Far Cry Primal because I've got, I haven't got the discs for the old versions of the games anymore. So I basically bought them all, and then literally the next day it was like, oh look, it's a Ubisoft publisher sale on Xbox.com where you can buy all the games for like £5. I'm like, oh, you absolute sponge! How can you do that to me? Yeah. Far Cry Primal, very underrated. I keep pointing at the microphone, but the camera's there. Far Cry Primal, very underrated game. Very much fun. There you go. Anyway, I was reading the chat, wasn't I? Yes. I've seen the gameplay. I think it's a killer game. I just haven't had the chance to play. The reason I love Far Cry, this is Far Play then, it's not really because the stories and stuff, although I do love the stories in 4 and 5. 6, I kind of got bored with 6. Apart from the gameplay loop, I kind of got bored. I never even got at the first starting part of the map. Yeah, it's more just the fact it's an open world and you can explore at your own pace. That's what I like about it. You obviously have story missions that you need to do, but you can just do the first couple usually and then just wander off, do your own thing. I like to basically clear everything off the map first and then finish the storyline. Like, I've got all the powers and all the weapons now. Ha ha ha! I am the powerful person. But it's just nice. 3's a bit tougher though. 3's a bit in early days. The Far Cry 1 and 2. No. People love them. I don't. Far Cry 1. No. Far Cry 3 onwards, yeah. They have just the best bad guys. Vast was great and underused. Pagan Min was fantastic. And I love the grey areas. I love the fact that at the end of the games, I don't really remember much about Far Cry 3 because I only last played that when it came out, but Far Cry 4, I know the decision you have to make at the end of Far Cry 4, it's like, because once, it may seem simple, but long after I'd originally played it and I'd obviously read about the story and all the different things, and you go, oh, I didn't know that, yeah. They always kick you in the butt in Far Cry games with the ending. You think you've got a simple choice. You're like, no, you do not have a simple choice. You do not have a simple choice. So simple that choice that you have. And I do find myself with them. I found myself in the past sitting there going, oh no, which one do I choose? Like the choice you have in Far Cry 4. It's a killer. It really is a killer. The choice you have to make. I'm not going to say any more than that, but I just hope that with Far Cry 4 and Primal, they do like they did with 5 and do like an update with higher res graphics and stuff. Because the PC version got like the high definition graphics pack. Those console versions never did. It's been left to the consoles to do any updating type stuff. It's a shame. But you know, they released the next gen update for Far Cry 5 on its 5th anniversary, so it can play at 60 FPS on modern consoles. Because when it came out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, it was 30 FPS. It was an abomination on modern consoles. So they released it with the high definition textures and the performance modes and stuff, so it's 60 FPS now. It's like, yes. Because I just started playing Far Cry 5, and I literally got it and was like, ooh, can we play Far Cry 6? I played Far Cry 3 and 4 in the past. I got Far Cry 6, and of course Far Cry 6 is 60 FPS. And I started Far Cry 5, and I'm like, ooh, this is horrible. 30, ooh, crunchy graphics and ooh, crunchy visuals and 30 frame. It was not pleasant. It was not good. So I couldn't play it. It was like, I can't play this game. It hurts my eyes to look at it when it's moving. And then literally about a month later, they went, right, we're redoing an update now. And you're going to get 60 frames a second on console and lovely visuals. I'm like, oh, there is a God. There isn't. But, you know, figure of speech. IP, freely. Anyway, I was reading chat and I did it again. I got distractificated from the chat. It's your fault. Distracting me with your words and talking. AP screws, we have millions of AP screws. It's very warm. Very, very warm. What time are we on? Good God, it's 1 o'clock already, 1 1. LP and IP and IP and LP. We've got an IP. I think we've got IP. Really? There's IP. IP, LP, might as well put them all in one bag rather than have multiple of each bag. Sort that out in a minute. So, DJ knife safety. Hey Fox, have you seen the big old Megazord that's starting in November, says Cal Dougal. Hey Cal Dougal. Yes, I no idea what that is though, because I don't watch Power Rangers, but it looks good. Megazord. I would absolutely spend my whole paycheck on that thing, says James. Yes. No. Power Rangers wasn't as big in the UK over here as it was in the US. I don't think it was big with the little kids, but people our age, we weren't really into it. I need to get some tissue to blow my nose. 1 second, folks. 1 second. Sorry about that. One needs to blow one nose, and one had no tissue to do that thing. Excuse me for a second. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so like their demographic really for the partworks is kind of people our age, 30s, 40s, 30s, and maybe they. I don't think it was as big over in the UK though. I bought 4, 5, and 6 in New Dawn last year, says Panzer. Just completed 5 and I've started 6. Yeah, I've finished 3 many years ago. 4 I finished when it came out. 5 I've not finished yet, although unfortunately I know what happens. Or one of the things that happens because I read it by accident. 6, I've wandered all over the opening map and Esperanza. but I've not been to the other areas because I kind of just I don't know, there's still something about it that didn't click with me. It's fine and all, gameplay, it's just, I don't know. I like the fact that having your weapon lowered is now a gameplay mechanic. And I must admit, over the last couple of years, I've got to the point where I can't stomach a game now where you've got your weapon out like this all the time and you're just running around, because nobody does that in real life. You put your weapon into alert carry, don't you? You have it down against your chest. But the number of games that are coming out now where you've just constantly got, like, you're walking around with your pistol out like that, or it's like you don't do that in real life. It's much better to have it down then when you pull the trigger to aim. When you pull the aim trigger, like that. I like that, the fact they built it into a mechanic. You drop your weapon and guards don't hassle you. I like that. But yeah, I don't know, I just dropped off on that one. So I never got to the second area. Next door's shouting. Oh, is this our little man doing the garden? If it is, this might get really loud because he does blow it. He does like a leaf blower. I forgot about that. Well, it might be next door actually. Let's have a look. Close the window. It's our garden chap. Now this might get dead loud because he's got a leaf blower and a strimmer thing. And I think the boss is teaching the new guy. So I do apologise if it suddenly gets very, very noisy. He's only there for like 10 minutes. He comes to cut the grass and stuff. Right, so what was I talking about? No idea. I've forgotten already. Oh yeah, so I kind of fell out of 6. I don't know. It just didn't. Looks nice. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Something just didn't gel for me. And there were little frustrations in it. Like, I didn't like the fact you go into third person when you walk into a camp. I hate that. It's like, I don't need to see the back of the character. I don't need to see the character at all. And especially when the character walks like she's got, like, I don't know, some kind of cerebral injury, because she's like staggering around because you can't walk at a consistent speed. And then things like Chorizo. Chorizo is adorable, right? Little tiny sausage dog with a little wheelchair on the back, and he's like, and he runs. It's so adorable. But every time you cross a perimeter of an enemy encampment or any enemy territory, and you go across the red line into like trespassing mode, he just sits there going constantly, and it's like, just shut up, man, shut up. And he doesn't. He just, and it's like, I got sick of him growling all the time. Gardening is beginning. I do apologise. It won't last long. Hopefully it won't last long. You let me know how loud it is. I've got no idea. This will be a regular occurrence every 2 weeks, so. We're up to. Arc is similar. There's no real story, so to speak, unless you find all of the lore papers left behind by other survivors. I have a steampunk mod pack that I'm absolutely adoring right now. I'm now conflicted as to whether to try to get Far Cry or the new Arc. Whatever floats your boat, mate. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever boat is floated. If you're going to get a Far Cry game, I'd recommend 4 or 5. If you've got limited funds. 6, you might like, I don't know, you might like 6, but my personal opinion is 4 or 5. 3 is good, but rough around the edges because it's old. You know, permanent minimap. Limited voice acting, that kind of stuff. Graphics are like, they're alright. Depends on what platform you're on as well, if you're on console. Right, I need to do this, don't we? Yes. Shut up, Fox. Get on with some work. Right, so. We have our bits again, yeah, that is richtig. We have the little strippy bits, yeah. I like to strip it. Right, so. We have 80G. Yes, I think there's a new fella, perhaps, because he was explaining something to the guy. Because it's the gardener chap. I say gardener, it's just like a garden maintenance company. They just keep the grass looking nice and trim the bushes and stuff for us. Because Mum Wolf's old now, she can't do it, and I'm lazy, I can't be bothered doing it. I'm not going to lie to you. Of all the things I can do in life, mowing the lawn and keeping Mum Wolf's garden in line with its bushes and trees and all kinds of things growing in there. No. Besides, I tend to kill stuff. We've got an 80-year-old fuchsia in the garden. It's like, if I go near that thing, it's going to be dead, and I'm going to feel so bad. Because that bush is almost as old as Mama Wolf. And we can't have that dying off. That would not be good. I'm very attached to our 80-year-old fuchsia. It's kind of... I've shown pictures before of the enormous skunk cabbage that lives in our pond, or what was our pond. It's kind of dried out now a bit. It's this massive plant the size of a house. And it's supposed to smell like skunk, hence the name skunk cabbage, but it doesn't smell at all. But it basically took over the pond like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. And now you've got this little pond. It's only about 4 foot square. Little pond with this enormous plant just dominating it. And we used to joke that, never mind the 50-foot spruce trees, that's the king of the garden. Until we realised that the fuchsia was like 80 years old. We're like, right now, the fuchsia is the queen of the garden. It's the fuchsia's garden now. And it's scary to think, in a way, that fuchsia... It's a really weird conversation to be having in the middle of a model making stream, making a DeLorean, but that fuchsia in our garden is only slightly younger than this entire house. Like, that fuchsia was put in when this house was less than 10 years old. And that's wild. Need to clear my throat one sec. Sorry about that. The garden's been very quiet. Why are they being so quiet? Not any really loud devices going on yet. Yeah, it's like when the fuchsia was planted. Like, this was pretty much a brand new house. The house was built in 1937, so 37, 38. Judging by the newspaper that was crammed into the skirting board when it was to make as filler, it could be older than that. But if you look at maps of this area, this sort of town that we're in just does not exist on the map in 31. And then in later maps it's there, so it's not even a real scribble. So I think about 37, 38. I'm just talking rubbish today. I don't even know what I'm talking about today. Oh, there goes the strimmer. Yeah, it's a new guy, because that doesn't sound like the normal guy working the strimmer. How loud is that? I don't know how... Do let me know how loud that is, because I have no idea how loud that actually is. Because I've got double glazed and stuff. I've closed the window. And it's probably very annoying for you guys, but there's not much I can do. Because if I'm going to be doing these streams every day, every other Tuesday, you're going to get that. That goes on there. There's a spooder that you can swing around like Peter Parker, and you can build train systems in New York. And if I get the Power Rangers mod pack, could be better Peter Parker Mighty Morphin Choo Choo Ranger. Oh, Bill says that fuchsia bush has lasted that long because it was fuchsia proofed. You've won the internet today, mate. There you go. Go and claim your prize. Yeah, it's when he brings the blowy, because it sounds really silly, like a bit over posh to say, oh, we've got a gardener. We haven't. We've got a guy that comes and cuts the grass and tidies up a little bit. And, you know, we give him a little bit of cash. But they do kind of cut corners, like they'll do the trimming on the grass and then they'll just get the blowy out and go and blow all the grass away. It's like, you can't see it, it's not there. But we're not paying him a lot, so... Yeah, don't think we're all highfalutin with the gardeners and stuff. No, it's just because Mum's too old and I'm far too fat and lazy to do the garden. Plus, I would kill everything. Right, we've got to put these side bits on, haven't we? I did try looking after the garden. Because basically, when it was locked down, the person that we had used to come look after the garden, the young lad called Adam, he was great. He really took care of the garden, but he disappeared. Vanished off the face of the earth and we never heard back from him. Hopefully he's alright. If you're out there, Adam, hopefully you're okay. Right, so, well, he went, and so I had to look after the garden for a bit. So I got like a lawnmower and a strimmer, and I got all the bits and bobs and the big clippers and stuff. Yeah, and then, but the basic routine of doing the garden was, I gave myself heat stroke at one point, and then I broke my toe on the bramble the next time. Bloody bramble. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing this. This garden's a jungle. I'm getting a professional in. Yeah. Right, so I need R5. 1, 4. Let's get these lined up. What's that? 1, 3. Here comes the blowy. 2, 4, 5. I'm glad I'm not living on a nocturnal cycle anymore, because yeah, that thing would wake me up every day. How loud is that to you? Sounds like an angry bee. How loud's that? Yeah. That's his big blow. He's got a big blowy tube. Here we go, like that was. Right, so this needs to go in that way. Blah, 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 blah. They're all like petrol driven gardening things, not electric. So, well, that was fast. That was very fast. Downside is I've got to have the window closed, which is making this room even warmer. That was very fast. It normally takes about 10 minutes. Oh, well, that was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. Line me hole up. They mustn't have had a lot of detritus to blow away. I'll be able to open the window again in a second. Breathe. Right, R4. Fua. Do. Peg at the front. Oh, do it again, Fox. Get the screw first. See, I don't learn even when I'm in the middle of learning. R4. Unit R4. Ready to accept programming. Nobody gets that joke. That reference, I should say, not joke. RR3. Now is number 3, yeah, just double checking. Yeah, that's that. That was a lot quicker than normally. I see how it is. If I'm asleep, because I was nocturnal for a long time, if I'm asleep, they do it as slowly and loudly as possible. If I'm awake, they just go in and out dead quick. Cowbags. I see. Is that how it is it? I see. Now I know where I stand. We do need a man to come and chop down some of our trees, though. We've got what I think is a spruce of some sort that I thought was about 30 feet high, but the garden chap said he thinks it's more like 60 feet. It's way too close to the house, to be honest. And there's another one at the back of the garden that I think is just a Leylandii. We've got like a mix. We've got like generic something tree behind what used to be the garage, which is a tree. I think it might be a laburnum, I'm not sure. That's tall. Then you've got this big spruce tree, and then behind that you've got like a Leylandii. And at the bottom, for some reason, we've got like 3 different types of tree that look the same, like a spruce, a Leylandii, and what looks like a fir of some sort. And then another one, and then there's a tree behind that. And it's all trees that like 5 minutes ago they were like 10 foot tall, or like 3 foot tall little twigs, and now they're like trunks as wide as a car. I'm like, where did that come from? It's like there's one tree at the back that we had a shed, an old wooden shed at the back of the garden. I used to play in it, and one day I went, it's actually a bit of a time capsule because, which one's that one? R2. There was a day when I had a Millennium Falcon, toy Millennium Falcon, a Kenner Millennium Falcon toy. And it's almost like you can see the transition from being a child that played with toys to an adult. It's like a fossil record, because one day I went into the garden and I was playing with this Millennium Falcon and my my Star Wars action figures. And I was playing around the shed, and the Millennium Falcon was left either just in the doorway of the old shed, right at the back of the garden where all the trees are. It was overgrown even then. Just in the doorway or just under the doorway. It's one of those sheds where you could see under the doorway something had burrowed under and you could get underneath. But anyway, I left it there, and maybe I just came in for Mama Wolf called me in for my dinner or something. I was called in for my dinner. And then I never returned, because it remained there, and to this day it's still there. And if you go to the shed, what used to be the shed, it's not there anymore, it's all fallen apart and gone, the little wooden thing. If you go there now and you look really carefully, if you dig through all the bushes and overgrowth and stuff, and the dilapidated bits of wood and stuff that fell out from the shed, if you look really carefully, you can just see at the right angle under all the overgrowth, perhaps the cockpit of an old early 1980s Kenner Millennium Falcon just poking its nose out, because it's just like a little geological record. It's like when they found evidence of the day of the meteor impact that wiped out the dinosaurs or contributed to it, with the fish inland with the little pellets and stuff and the dust and the little spherules. It's that kind of thing. It's testament to that day when I went inside for some reason, probably to have my dinner, and never came back to it. Never returned. Never returned. It just stayed there forever. So that is the day that my childhood died and I became a man. And you can still see it there. But yeah, so there used to be a shed there. There's no reason to tell you any of that, but there used to be a shed there. Now it's just, and I used to play in that shed, and now there's a tree there that I swear the tree trunk is about 8 to 10 feet in across. It's just huge. And all these trees are great, but if they fall over, it's going to cost somebody money. Probably us. Especially the one near the house, the big spruce tree. That needs to come, because if it gets a very windy day and that falls over, it falls over onto my bedroom. Yeah, I don't want to be crushed by a spruce tree, pretty though it may be. And I looked it up, and I think it's a blue spruce or something like that. And those things grow to like 300 feet, and they grow to be like a trunk with the spruce tree at the top. So you could have 200 foot of just trunk, and then stuff going on. It's like, really? It's kind of cool. But I don't want one falling into my house and squishing me. Right, so the next step would be to install that onto the back of the thing. So what I shall do is get the body shell back, and that other issue that has installing the corner pieces. And we'll get these all installed, and we'll need lots of DM screws. Let's put these screws away first. Oh, DM. Anyone else try the new Oreo Coke Cola? Oh, Coca-Cola. Nope. Can we get it here in the UK? I don't know. Probably. I don't like Oreos. I don't like American chocolate. I hate to say it to all you lovely Americans out there. I don't like American chocolate. I find it not pleasant. And Oreos kind of fall into the same camp to me. I've eaten Oreos, but there's just nothing there. It's like, it doesn't taste of anything to me, which is a shame. But yeah, no, American chocolates. I'm not a big fan of American chocolate. My brother brings stuff, because he lives in Tennessee. My brother brings stuff over when he visits. And it's like, I like Twinkies. Twinkies were nice. They were good. He brought like a whole box of them, and I just wolfed them all down. Like, yep, that's terrible food, but I like it. Because I like terrible food. But chocolate, no, he brought me Hershey's and Reese's Pieces and all kinds of things over the years. And it's like, it's nothing. When you've grown up on Cadbury's Dairy Milk and things like that, it's just, there's just nothing there. I love you to bits, Americans. Please don't be offended, but your chocolate sucks. And it's such a shame because ours is milk chocolate and yours is, I guess, something slightly different, but it's a shame. I personally think that after the DeLorean we need a Mach 5 with all the bells and whistles. I think that'd be pretty neat. Is that the one from Speed Racer, the terrible 1970s cartoon? Where everybody talked really fast and was like, I must go over here now and drive this car and do this thing. Ah! I've tried European chocolate and I can attest that American chocolate isn't the best, says James. I'm sure there is some nice American chocolate, but I've never been given it, so... Oh god, this is getting heavy. Oh, crikey, Riley. This is getting V-heavy now. Hefting this up and down on the bench every 5 minutes. I was worried that I wouldn't get 2 hours of content out of just this pack, but I think we might do it. Right, let's get that other issue back. Wow. Do. Right, so there's only like 3 or 4 screws, I think. This is why I couldn't put the thing in the front yet, because we need to do this, you see, yeah? And this is why you have your wing mirrors folded up, because it'd be special if you didn't. Right. So we have the underside, yeah, that is richtig, and we want to put this on here like this, you see, like, yeah. That will sit on there like that. I can't see any of the holes these are supposed to go in, so I'm just going to guess. Let's stand up and do this. There we go. Ooh. Sitting down again, sir. These are DM screws. Oh, DM. So I will need my oil of metalness. Move the knife out. Oh, I don't need that. Now, DM screws. I might need a more powerful screwdriverage. See if this is the right size bit. Yes. So look at the instructions, Fox, before you just start screwing things in. And we need to do there, and there. Oh, only 4. Oh, that's all right. I can do this. Poor Anton Yelchin. I'll have to turn this round this way. Now, I do apologise. I need to pull the camera out, don't I? Adjust my focus. Hello. Adjusting focus now, sir. Hang on, sir. Just 1 moment. Close enough. Now, we did this yesterday with the fenders, and it was like trying to find the right angle to get everything in was a pain in the bum. So we shall try it this way. And if you missed yesterday, by the way, strong piece of advice for you. When you are attaching the front fenders, take the luggage compartment out, because it completely gets in the way of the fenders and you can't get the screws in unless you've got a 90-degree screwdriver. That's why one of the reasons I took the luggage compartment out, apart from the fact I had to mess with that luggage set, is because it was completely in the way, which was not ideal. No, it was not. This is also hard to get to. I've got to push on it and turn it at the same time. It is a bit challenging, you know. It's a bit big, that one. Let's try a slightly smaller bit. I don't want a bigger bit. Let's try a bigger bit. Bigger bit, you come bouncing back to me. This bigger bit better. Bigger bit, big better bit. Even get this damn thing in there. Let's try this instead. This is also a bit tricksy. You need kind of a short screwdriver for this, really. Yeah. But it's having to push on. There's a very tight screws to start with. If you somehow had a 90-degree ratchet screwdriver, that'd be fantastic. But this is just getting my hand in there, you see, it's tricksy. I can't get that to rotate at all. No. You kind of have to get exactly the right size screwdriver for this one. And that's quite tricky. Nope. Like a day of lamentations. It's just too big. Let's try a slightly smaller one then than the other one we had. I don't think that's going in the right direction, but I think the screw might be just between the two bits. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. Ah, okay. Well, it was until it suddenly wasn't. Let's try. Can I utilise my long dangly bit with this? Oh, that might be a good idea. Never tried using that before. Oh no, it's still, yeah, getting in the way. It's not quite 90 degrees, you see. Curses, I say, curses. What my short screwdriver? I've got a short screwdriver. I've got one somewhere. Just. There's my equal screwdriver. There it is. There it isn't. I've got a little one. There it is. This might be. It's a Phillips, but it's tiny. It'll be way too small. Oh, actually. Actually, it might just about fit. Let's get this off. Get some more oil on it. Back and forth it a little bit. Right, there's that. Let's get some oil on it, more oil. It might just need a couple of back and forths just to get it seated. I like to seat it seated. Right, there we go. Let's get this. It's having to push on the other side that's the tricky bit, you see. I wonder if, can I put this on its side? That will push on it for me a little bit. Also, the door will open and the bonnet will open. Hooray! It's not ideal, but this might be the best way to... Ah, here we go. There we go. That's a bit better. This is where a soft, spongy foam mat comes in brilliant, because it protects your paintwork, but also it gives you something to push against. Matron. That's it, yeah. That's now in. This one I can tighten up from here. Nope. Perfect. Remember I got this little one from. Might have been Iron Man or something, I'm not sure. Okay, that's them two, so let's keep it where it is right now. And see if we can utilise this angle for good. For the good of all. It was here, wasn't it? It was there. Here. That one there. I think, was it that hole? That one there. There we go. That's a bit easier. It's a little bit easier to get to, yes, das ist richtig. A bit more space at this end. That's much more better. That one. And last but not by any means least, the last one, which I can't see. Oh, I need to open the window, don't I? Because it's 1,000 degrees and the gardener's gone for his minimal work day. Get that in there. There we go. Probably what you're seeing is the back of my head. Great big head. That's now decided to not be the right size. It is frustrating that some of these sometimes fit, some don't. That needs to not... And I've just broken a wire on the light. Yay! That's one light that's not going to work. Oh well, never mind. It's the little light on the door. I just pulled it and the wire snapped. If I knew what I was doing with a soldering iron, and indeed if I had a soldering iron, I could fix that. I do not. Either of those things. The thing is, at the end of the day, once this is built, put the batteries in, put all the lights on, take a few nice photographs, take the batteries out, it never gets lit up again. So I've got one funky wire. It's not the end of the world. one wire that's broken, one light on the door. It's I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's not a problem. Just be careful with these door wires, is what I'm saying. That's not all the way in, and I can't get it any further in. I need a ratchet screwdriver is what I need. Ratchet. There we go, that's in. Right, so now the other side. Yeah, that's a switch stick. Lifting carefully, being very, very careful of my wing mirrors, because I'm very protective of these wing mirrors. Yes. Yes, it's that wire there. It's got two little metal bits, and I must have weakened it when I was installing it. It's just popped one of the wires out. No biggie, it's not the end of the world. Like I say, it's only going to sit on a shelf and gather dust. It's not going to be actually turned on ever. Once it's assembled, like my Dodge. Put the batteries in, took all the nice photographs, took them out. It just sits on the shelf now. And that's the thing with any kind of models or miniatures or anything like this where it's battery based and not mains powered, you never turn them on. If you had a model that had like mains power, like you built, say, the Enterprise D and built it into the mains, built a proper plug and power supply into it, or built a base with the jack, you could then just turn it on and treat it as a lamp and it'd be fantastic. But something like this, no. Nah. You could do. That will be an option for you. Right, let's get this other side on. And the same challenge here with this side now, aren't we? Oh, excuse me, Vic. I beg your pardon, sir. It's most rude of me. How very rude. It tasted like beef. Fudge. I really wish I hadn't put my all right behind my microphone. I do apologise if you keep hearing it banging against the thingy. Right, let's try this one. Slightly different angle this time, but we'll work with what we've got. And also I'm off camera. I'm down here. Has a bit. Get that one loosely in, because that's as good as I can get for the moment. Now the tricksy one. Where we have to push down, yeah, and also in. Down and in, down and in. I can lift that up a bit. Yeah, you see. Try not to get my entire head in shot. So I can push down on the mat, and now I'm not screwing up the paint job or anything like that. That was easy. Well, that was effortless. That's not quite right, is it? No. It's not right there, chaps. This is tricky to get to with my right hand, but I can't screw it in with my left hand because I'm right-handed. I haven't got the strength nor the brain power. Quite tight, these screws. On a little round screwdriver. But we'll get there. I do need to get myself a ratchet screwdriver, I think. Small one. It would make life so much easier. I've got a ratchet screwdriver, but it's massive and old. Put some oil on the bodywork. Yeah. Clean that off later. Little oily bits on the bodywork there. I was saying yesterday I could tape the bonnet down so it doesn't flap around, but I never quite know or trust if when you tape the bodywork down, anything like that, it doesn't pull all this paint off and leave things looking a bit shonky. Right, 2 more screws. Try carefully not to touch the clear parts, the windows. Clear parts, they're just windows, Fox. Just say windows. I'll have a look at chat in a moment. Once I've completed screwing, completed my screwing activities. I get the feeling these wires in the doors are going to be very prone to snapping the connections, so I fully expect that none of them once it comes to, like, you know, threading these wires into the other bits and pulling on them to get them all connected up, I get the impression half my door lights are probably not going to work. But like I say, it doesn't really matter. I'm not really fussed. If necessary, when I take a nice picture and there's like one light not working, I can just kind of Photoshop it to look like it's on. It's fine. I don't normally do that, but I have fake stuff with Photoshop. But hey, it's like one single door light, might as well. It is not the end of the world. Nobody will take me to prison and kill me. No, that's to the wrong size. Right with that one. The one frustrating thing about these partworks, screw sizes vary even amongst all the same screws. So be prepared to have a lot of screwdrivers on hand. Right, there we go, that was it. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Right, so that then means our tail parts are complete. Let's get them on for it. Yeah. So we have that end. Oh, look at this. It's looking like a DeLorean now. Oh, yes. I'm knocking everything in the world. Have a look at Joe. Oh, look at that. This is starting to look really DeLorean-ish now. I do like a nice DeLorean. Look at that. It's just the shape, man. It's just the shape. Nothing... I think the only 80s car that I like more in terms of design than a DeLorean will be a Lancia Delta Stratos, perhaps. You know, the concepty one that never got made into production. A little bit of oil there. Let me get a cotton bud and we'll sort that out. It's not actually oil, it's just like paint coming off the screw and then mixed with a little bit of oil on my finger and getting spawned onto the painting work. That's going to be covered up with all the scary other stuff anyway. Let's get the door thing back in. Oh, that's coming out again. The little cloth things that hold your doors in place, they do tend to come out a lot. Be prepared to reinstall those several times. You kind of get caught in the door and then get pulled. That one's alright. Yeah, that one keeps coming out. No biggie. It's not that hard to put back in place. Any oily bits in there? I'm really pleased with that. Oh, sugar! Look at this. There's that hinge has come out and been bent. Right, I need to fix that. Gosh darn it. That's not good. Diese ist nicht richtig. That's nasty. The door hinge piece that just sits in place has been completely bent up and trapped. Right, let's fix this very quickly. Good job I spotted that. Little screwdriver gone. Just, right, we've got to take this all out again. One we just put in. I'm not quite sure why it was sticking out. Thankfully it's not broken. Hey, that's a bugger. I've just put this in, now I'm going to take it out again. Hey, bloody hell. Get these screws out. At least I didn't move the camera. I'll show you in a second. It must have somehow worked its way out and been sticking up when I put this on. Come on, you. Come on, screw. Out you come. Let's get the other ones out first. It would be this one with the awkward corner one, wouldn't it? Yes. Yeah, left hand unscrewing. It's not a natural formation. One, two, three. Come on, out you come. Three. Not quite, not quite. Oh, when the screw won't come out the last little bit. Come on, come. I know you're unscrewed because you're spinning freely. You're just stuck. There we go. Right, so that bit, I don't know if you'll see it, but that bit there, the little metal hinge has just been bent upwards. Now luckily it doesn't really matter too much, because the pressure of this part on top will hold it in place anyway. It's just been bent up like that, caught like that and bent, so it's fine. It is all good. It won't, it's not broken, and it's done it again there. I need to make sure it's pushed down. There you go. That's why they don't give you 2 screws for that hinge, you see, because they know this bit's going to lock it in place. That's all right. Thankfully, it wasn't vital to keeping that door hinge in place anyway, because it's kind of held in place by default of the screw on the other side, so it's more just an extra bit of stuff. I mean, you're an extra bit of stuff. So thankfully it didn't break. So do watch for that when you, because I didn't realise they were under there. Do watch for that when you put these quarter panes on. Watch out for that little bit of flappy photo etch. Make sure you don't get it trapped sticking out, because you just have to take it all apart again. That's a pain in the bum. Now, I think we're almost done. There's one last issue to do, and that's just a bit of the decking. It's 10 to 2, so we'll get that done, then we'll call it a day. Because at some point I need to go and wake Mama Wolf up, get her out of a pit, get her fed and watered. Thus is the life of a carer. Not that I begrudge it for a minute, of course, because it's Mama Wolf. You know, your parents look after you. It's only right that you look after them when they need it. That's them back in. Problem solved. Phone soon. Premium search. No worries. There you go. Quick fix. No panic. That's now hidden under there. Those hinges are anchored in place. Awesome. I don't want to touch the clear bit with my gloves because I've had oil on them, but there we go. Right, so that is that done, and that is that looking rather fabulous. It's looking good. The funny thing is now, because when I stored this, before I put these front wings on, I stored it with the body shell on top of the chassis because it just slotted into place. Now I've got the wings on, the fenders as the Americans call them. I can't do that because I think it needs to be negotiated into place, and you can't just spawn this on top of the body shell of the chassis. So yeah, so I have to store this separately now because I can't just plonk it down. So yeah. Right, well that's that done. It's a shame about that wire in the door, but like I say, it doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world. It's like when I get all this together, they haven't sent me a testing kit yet because a lot of the wires don't connect into anything yet. A lot of builds, they'll get you to like build the circuit part and then just test it quickly. Like you install some lights, test the lights, but they don't do this on this. I guess Eagle Moss don't do that. So that hasn't happened. A lot of stuff isn't connected in yet. But when it is, I think when you get to finally test it, it'll be so assembled that if anything doesn't work, it just doesn't work. Yeah, I'm not going through all that. Right, let's put those 2 issues away. I think that concludes those 2 issues. Oh, what's that? Oh, open my window. Ooh. A little wave of nausea then. A little bit nauseated for some reason. So we shall put that over there. I like that again now. It's looking really good. Looking much bigger. Woo. Issue 81. I think we're starting on the back decking now. This is the kind of thing on a, if it was like a model, studio model, not a real car, would just be made out of greebles and tank parts. Right, so let's get the bits. It's the engine surround officially. And then this will be the last issue until the next delivery. So we'll be up to date. Next time we'll be starting on the the GT40, and that's actually completed now. So we'll get, ooh, we've got double packed, double whammy. So when the GT40 is done, that's it, it's finished. So we have that. Do you like my delicate unpacking method? Spawned. Sure there's nothing left in there, no? I'll move the camera back in. I won't move it out again now, so just make sure you're in focusings. Get the focus going. La 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 la. Oh, that's about right. I could do autofocus, but it gets on my nose when it flicks back and forth all the time. There you go, that's good enough. How's that? That good enough for you? Let me know. I'll lock the camera as well, just as a free bonus. Drive time! So, we have some AP screws. We'll put the DM screws away. Oh, DM! DM screws. I'll have a quick look at chat before we do this. DM. Many DM screws. Now we have many more. There we go. Many screws, Mahoney. AP screws, of course, the universal screw of this build. The never-ending supply of AP screws. What are you having for your dinner tonight? Any ideas? I don't know what we're having yet. Let's have a look at chat before we crack on. Speaking of trees, I have a lemon tree, an apple tree, and a plum tree, and a peach tree. Ooh, yeah, we don't get lemon trees and peach trees. We do peach trees, maybe lemon trees. We don't tend to get. We don't have the climate for that. I tried. I don't think I get a chance to tell you, but I have in my possession a book from 1938, How to Speak German. I got it mainly because of it being from 38, as I collect all the books and knickknacks. Cool. I was talking about old books the other day on the show. I've got a 17th century Reynald the Fox book, so I've not been able to find it yet. No electrics yet, says Chris. Not that anything can be tested. Dorkosaurus is in. Hello, Fox, and everyone in Chatland. Hello. It looks amazing so far, says James. Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. It's not required any talent from me. This is how it comes out of the box. Yeah, I don't need to say thank you. Right. Engines around. Push 81D into the holes indicated in part 81B. So that's 81. That one. Which way runs it? Not that way around. But does it need to be? Well, it's flat on that side and soft curves on that side. So I'm guessing that's the upper. I don't know. I don't think it actually matters. But there's ejector pin marks on there, so we'll do it that way. It's not chiral anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. This looks like some sort of radiator, which is fascinating. Way around. If it is some sort of radiator and it's not original to the car, so it's like a bit that the prop designers put on there, then I have to give them points for the attention to detail of putting like a radiator on the back of it. This pin's a bit too big for this hole, I think. Yeah, so I have to widen that hole ever so slightly. If you ever get a peg that's too big for the hole, it's easier to widen the hole. Your knife and just do that. There you go. Don't try making the pin smaller. That will always end in sadness. Start factory. Try around with that again. Yeah, this curved side is much neater and cleaner, so assuming that's going to be the one that faces up. Push that too hard. Still a bit too big. Okay. More holing. And it makes you wonder if, again, if it's a prop and not an actual part of the car. Did they find a radiator and thing that happened to be this size? Or did they actually make a tube to look like a radiator? It's fascinating, isn't it? If this is a prop, did they go to all the trouble of making this kind of fake radiator? And if so, that's a lot of effort just for a thing that looks like something rather than is something. Okay, that needs to go in there and that in there. These don't quite line up. Push this into this. It's coming out. It's amazing how you do all the complicated stuff and it's the simple stuff that screws you up. Quite lining up. There'll be some persuasion, I think, with those two middle bits because they're not quite. So if I do it that way. Oh, there is a right way around. Okay. All right, there is a right way around. Right way around. And it is, in fact, the other way, which is the curved edges underneath, because these sides are technically chiral. So that goes there. That goes there. And now these pegs on the side are in the right place because they're a bit too low down. The other way around. Oh, okay. Wait, now they're not lining up again. What? Oh, it does go through. Okay. Actually, no, ignore me. Ignore me completely. I had it right the first time. Soft edges. Soft edges? We don't need no edges, senor. Soft edges. And then this is that way around. It's that way around there and that way around there as well. I assumed that this sticky out bit matched with that one, but it doesn't. It doesn't do that. It's always the simple stuff that confuses me the most. I'm guessing this is actually an original car part because it looks too much like an actual engineered radiator to be anything but an actual engineered radiator. I mean, I know prop designers go to all the good effort, but yeah, probably a bit too far. Right, this now needs to go on to, you say? Push the assembly into place on part 81A as shown. Which is which way around? That way around, this way around. Spond. It's in no way permanently affixed, so guarantees to pop out every 5 minutes if you turn the car upside down. There you go. And oh no, we don't screw it in. Push part 81E into place on part 81A as shown. Now this has a chamfered edge, and it seems to go that way. Thus, you need two AP. This will be it now because we've only got 3 AP screws. 2 AP screws. Find my AP screwdriver. Don't need oil, you fool. I was reaching for the oil then. This is the one thing I not consider when I set up these morning shows. What do I talk about for like 2 or 3 hours? It's not like I'm known for a particular topic of choice. So, what's that? Chris at Gross Models has been a member for 50 months. Blimey, he says. Blimey, indeed. That's a number of months. That's many years. Thank you very much for being a member for so long, buddy. Big hugs to you. Don't forget, folks, if you want to support the channel, you can become a member like Chris. And Chris is a big member. You can go to patreon.com/gurufoxx, GURUFOXX, and become a patron and support me that way. Or you can become a lovely member by pressing join underneath the video, the join button. And that way, you can help keep this channel alive. Because I do this for a living. This is my only source of income, and I count on you guys and girls to help me, put food on my table. Don't worry if you can't afford to become a member or patron. It's not a problem. What you can do instead, if you wouldn't mind, is just make sure you've got your ad blockers turned off when you watch my stuff and watch through the adverts. They're only 30 seconds or so, and it really massively helps me because I get the revenue from that. So if you could do that, that'd just be as awesome. I still love you just as much. Right, so that's that done so far. And that concludes issue, whatever that was. 81. So, that means, unless I've missed a box somewhere, I'll just double check. GT. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I've got 5 boxes of GT40 to do, which will complete the build. But for the DeLorean, we're up to date. That's it now. Another box will appear in a few weeks. So I shall go and put all this away. And we'll come back with this particular build in a few weeks. If it gets, depending on how scary Chris makes all the flux cabling sound, I might do that off camera. We'll see. But until then, we will put this away. Stefan Lass says, good day all, a bit late today, but I just got home after picking up my new glasses, so now I can actually see what you're doing. Have you got that thing where, because you're not used to them, when you turn your head, everything kind of goes like that? It's like you're looking through a fisheye lens for the first couple of hours. I remember every time I walk out of the opticians with new glasses, it's like I'm looking through a fisheye lens for at least a couple of hours. I'm like, ah. I remember being able to see stuff, says Chris. Oh, you'll get there, dude, soon enough. Right, so that's us. I'm feeling a little bit nauseated. I don't know why. Something's not sitting right. So I might have to go and have a sit down for a bit. But anyway, that will do us for today. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Only a couple of hours. Apologies for the late start. I was tied up doing something and I couldn't start at 11. We shall be back, of course, tomorrow. Assuming I'm not feeling sick. We should be back, of course, tomorrow, hopefully at 11 o'clock, as normal. We will start on the GT40, catching up on that. So I'll go and put all this DeLorean away and I'll start getting all the GT40 chassis and stuff out. But until then, it just remains for me to say thank you very much for watching. Do take care of yourselves. Don't forget, of course, I've got links to this partwork underneath the video in the description. The UK one's out of print, but the US one is just launching. So if you fancy it and you're in the US, go and sign up now, because once they've got all the subscriptions, that's it. They'll take it out of print. Anyway, yes, until then, I shall say thank you very much for watching and putting up with my nonsense and the gardeners. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to go away when I feel a bit better and eat these gold bears now. Yeah, Goldbeeren, but Beeren. Kleine Beer. What does he say? Das Original seit 1920. I can't do numbers in German. It's in German. Mike Lane's got his Haribo from German. Haribo macht Kinder froh. Und Erwachsene ebenso. Und Erwachsene ebenso. I can't remember what that is in English. I can't remember. Haribo makes kids explode with energy and dangerous. And I don't understand why the Haribo bear is wearing his bow tie on the side. His bow. Why is that a thing? Why is that why is that the way he does it? And can somebody just give him clothes? Come on. Anyway, never mind that. Take care of yourselves. I shall see you tomorrow, hopefully 11 o'clock. Until then, take care. Oh, don't forget, by the way, I'm not going to be posting up every single day that I'm doing a live stream of these daily streams, because that'll get really annoying if I'm posting every single night. Hey, don't forget tomorrow morning, whatever. So just take it as read that there's a stream. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that if you forget, it'll send you a ping to let you know I'm streaming. And I'll probably more likely post up, say, on a Sunday night to remind you that there's more week of streams, or I'll post up if I'm not streaming. So keep an eye on the the Facebooks and everything else and the socials, but just assume there's a daily stream, unless I tell you otherwise. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome, although you already are, because you are awesome. And until then, I shall say, adios, amigos. Bye.